country's about.
Now, to be clear, what I'm understanding from you is you don't feel like the election was legitimate. Am I understanding
Correct.
that right?
I do not believe that is the case. I think that a lot was stolen. And my friend, for example, at the post office, he was telling me that he had actually distributed 5 or 6 ballots at one single house for voting through the mail-in process, and there were only 2 people that were adults living in that particular house, or 1 in another, or maybe 3. But there were a multitude of ballots that were being presented, and by law, of course, he has to do his job. You can't just throw them out. But where were they all going? So they were voting 2 or 3 times? Now, I went to vote. I voted once. Absentee ballot. It was a registered ballot. I signed it in accordance to the rules and regulations because I follow that. And I believe every single citizen should follow the same rules. And it's out of respect for all of us.
Now, earlier you said you had considered going down to D.C. to protest, right?
Yes. I wasn't able to do that because of the medical issue.
Okay.
But anyway, I don't think I would have been able to, stand the time to go down on the plane and then the train system and get on the mall and stand there all day. But this, at least, I can handle. Mm-hmm. So that's the only reason why.
What do you think of? Have you been hearing about how the protests have been changing down in D.C.?
Yes.
What do you think about that?
I'm rather disappointed by that aspect of it because if we're going to do the same thing in that regard, then are we any better than the opposing side that we're always talking about? I believe we have to do peaceful demonstrations, but I do not know all the facts yet. We haven't really heard much about it other than there was a skirmish that took place and someone did get shot, which is unfortunate. But again, who did that? There could have been someone that had just gone down there and, it's kind of like the catalyst in a reaction. They want to stir up the pot and get people on edge, and then things happen.
When you say we want to be better than some of those other people, what do you kind of mean by that?
Well, you don't want to be like Antifa. You don't want to be like people, in this whole thing with Black Lives Matter. And, I am not racist by any stretch of the imagination. I don't care. I just love people for who they are. But the thing is, why are we hiding behind all these banners? And then people are using all of this as excuses. Portland, Oregon, Seattle, Washington, all of these, riots going on and burning and looting, and it's ridiculous. I don't want to be part of that. And that's not my heart, never has been. But I will say this, if someone were to invade my house, I'm going to stand up for my family. Because I have rights as a citizen to defend my own family. I mean, I would, at that point, I hope that never happens, but, this day and age, so many crazy things.
What kind of reaction have you guys been getting since you've been out here?
Mostly positive.
Mostly positive. Yeah, absolutely. A lot of people honking.
Yeah.
A lot of people waving. There's been a handful of people that flip us off and yell and scream. Usually just, fuck Trump. And they don't have anything actually to say, just negative. They don't want to come talk to us and even see why we're here or point out why they think they're right, I guess. They don't want to do that. They just swear and flip us off. But whatever. We just wave and say have a nice day.
We met a gentleman, Sean, and Sean, right? He's going to try to run for governor. He approached one of the gentlemen that was screaming, and just totally negative. So he went across the street and just talked with him. And he actually was able to get him to understand that, hey, we're on the same page here. It's not about us versus them. It's about doing what's right. And it was amazing that gentleman now wants to vote for him as governor.
Right.
I thought that was interesting. It's like,
I didn't get